Hey, Trey.
How you
Appreciate the
doing?
time today. How do you feel like you're fitting in so far?
So far I feel like I'm fitting in perfectly. I mean, everybody, and not even just myself. I feel like all the guys that's transferred over, everybody's starting to mesh together. Everybody's starting to really have a better camaraderie with each other, and everybody's starting to see the bigger picture, and everybody's starting to come together for the season.
What have returners like Jordan and maybe even Dayton kind of done to help with that transition with you and some other guys coming in from the portal?
I say it's more outside of football. It's just hanging out with each other, taking guys out to certain places, and just being around the guys and just being able to, get to know each other outside of football, know what each other's interests and hobbies are, and build that bond with each other. That's probably been the biggest thing for, especially a lot of the guys that just transferred in. Been the biggest thing for us is just coming together and starting to know what each guy likes and what each guy dislikes. So probably that, just hanging out with each other and all that stuff.
Going back to your decision to come here originally, personally, when you look at Coach Nix and some of the receivers that he's have gone on to the NFL and all that, do you feel like that was played a big part in your decision?
Yeah, that was a huge part. I mean, going into the process, I wanted to go somewhere where, of course, they develop guys and they develop guys to be good receivers in the league, and that's the goal for me, especially is to get to the NFL. But here, I knew coming here, they could definitely develop me into a first round type of talent receiver. So that's what I came here for.
One thing a newcomer always says, either the playbook's not a hard adjustment, is a hard adjustment. Kind of where have you fit in and learning this offense?
It wasn't too hard for me. I feel like coming from an air raid offense back at Louisiana Tech, a lot of the same concepts, they pop up in different playbooks and stuff like that. So coming in, it wasn't too hard for me to learn the concepts and learn the playbook, to be honest with you.
And we've asked everybody who's come in, but what are your thoughts on Aiden Williams so far?
On who?
Aiden Williams.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Bro, he's a dog, bro. He's legit, and he got that number one for a reason. I'm going to be honest. He deserves it, and he going to show a lot of people this year why he's wearing the number one, and for the next coming years, he's going to be that guy. I can promise you that.
You talked about being part of an air raid offense at Louisiana Tech. Malik Heath, when he was here last year, he was talking about, when with the air raid offense that he was with, he was talking about, being tired of, just running just short of the first down marker, kind of, 3, 5, 7 yard outs, and talked about, the desire to go a lot deep, make her big chunk plays and all that. Is that something that you feel like you really wanted to accomplish?
Yeah, that was a big thing coming here. With Lane, to score from far, that's one of the biggest things, is scoring from far, and that's something a receiver wants no matter where he's at. He wants to score from far and put up big numbers, and I know being here, I could do that.
For Ole Miss fans who haven't seen you play before, how would you kind of describe your play style?
I describe it as a dominant play style. Somebody that's looking for the one-on-one, somebody that's a smart player on top of that, and a guy who's going to do his best no matter what. I'm going to be dominant in run blocking, dominant in the pass game, and just being able to be a good one-on-one guy. That's pretty much how I describe it.
You talked a lot about the team meshing together, people transferring. What does it mean to you to know that everyone on the coaching staff is mental health certified?
That's huge because, especially now with the dog days of camps, it can get long. It can get a little tiresome, get a little mundane. But, our coaches, we're able to talk to our coaches. We're not shying away from how somebody feels or how somebody's feeling that day, because they understand that, look, some days it's not going to be your day. Some days you're going to have those off days, and that's what you got your brothers here for, and you got your coaches here to pour into you and really be able to pick you up. And that was probably the biggest thing I've really picked up from it.
I don't remember if you alluded to the quarterbacks yet. Obviously, a crowded room, it's that quarterback. Do you still, from your vantage point, just catching balls for some of these guys, do you kind of still consider this a battle at where we are right now in fall camp?
I would definitely say so. I mean, each guy brings something different to the field, as many of y'all see. And I mean, it's gonna be a battle until, I guess you could say, the day one, whenever that day comes, whenever we're playing against Mercer. So each guy I'm really comfortable with. I feel like all the receivers are comfortable with each guy. So what all I can really say is that each guy there is really making each other better for sure, especially every single day.
What goals do you have for yourself this year?
To be a top receiver. That's always the goal, to be a number one receiver in the SEC and go to the league. But on top of that, I want to beat those guys who everybody says are the best in the country. I want to beat Georgia. I want to beat Alabama. I want to beat LSU. I want to beat those teams. I want to be a part of a winning program. That's the biggest goal for me whenever I started to come here. Thank y'all.